Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories like these. Now, let's get into today's story video.
My wife cheated after over 8 years together. Hello. Despite the fact that I found the Reddit community to be reassuring during my first few days here, this is my first Reddit post. My birthday fell on a Sunday this year, which was a first for me. During the weekend before last, my wife went out with a female colleague for the second Saturday in a row. It was the weekend before she went out with her friends, and I was working until 4:30 a.m. at the drill site. In my conversation with her, I expressed my understanding of her and my support for her, but I also urged her not to cheat on me again, and I expressed my displeasure with her being out that late since it made me feel nervous. The fact that she was and that she wanted to be more open about her orientation had been revealed to me just a week or so before to our meeting. It was the first time she openly recognized that she was, despite the fact that she had always shown a preference for females. After that, we spoke about how I didn't want her to be out till 4 a.m. again since we had a busy Sunday ahead of us. That was this past Saturday. When the clock strikes 11 that evening, I query as to her whereabouts, to which she answers that she is merely hanging around for the time being, which is okay with me. I'm having trouble sleeping since my intuition tells me that something isn't quite right with the world. We're still trading text messages back and forth between us, however. She claims to be on her way home in the early morning hours. 40 minutes later, I phone to find out where she is, and she answers by claiming that her buddy is being dropped off at the vehicle she has parked nearby. The first thing she does when she gets home is get up at 5 a.m. It frustrates me a great deal that you don't say anything at all. The fact that she then on to tell me how fantastic and helpful I have been, how sympathetic I have been, and that she and this other girl kissed makes me immediately suspect that something is wrong. We are woken from our slumber 2 hours later, and she says, "Let's speak." Though surprised, I'm trying not to panic out too much since I'm baffled as to why she cheated when we had only talked to one other a week prior. 2 hours pass, and then another 2 hours pass, and we discover that it wasn't a kiss after all, but rather that they had an experience instead of a kiss. After that, it was my responsibility to break the news to her that they had 3 encounters with each other that night while she was chatting on the phone with me. After a while, I didn't seem to be quite as unhappy as I had anticipated, mostly because I don't think I had really absorbed it. I told him, if you're bi, let's explore with women and maybe this woman. I'm not sure what I was thinking when I said it, and it's certainly not what I meant. We walked into another room to talk about it, and I felt furious with her because she never grieved or did anything emotional to express her regret for hurting me, instead just stating, "I'm sorry I hurt you, but I'm proud that I did what I did." I seek to go through her phone to see how long this has been going on, and the first message I find is a response she wrote to the other girl in which she remarked, "I miss your mouth already." I want to look through her phone to see how long this has been going on. When I inquired as to why she cheated rather than communicating with me, she said that it was her only regret. To salvage our marriage, I told her she needed to contact this other person and tell her she needed to cease talking to her in order for our relationship to be saved. We didn't talk about the text she sent her since she was so focused on defending herself the whole conversation. We end up arguing again because I am unable to process what has happened. I ask her a question, she gets defensive, and I take a slew of pills before jumping into my car and driving. After almost 8 years of silence, she's phoning and telling me exactly what I want to hear. I'm having a nervous breakdown while screaming, wailing, and doing all I can to keep her memory alive. When I finally go home and ask her if she wants this to work, she says she doesn't know, or she wants to but isn't sure if she's gay since she doesn't find boys attractive, or something along those lines. Once again, I inquire as to whether or not she wishes for me to go, as well as whether or not she loves me. She responds affirmatively and positively, and she suggests that we go to therapy together. I tell her that she has to get rid of this other girl from her life and that we need to concentrate on ourselves instead. This causes her to, and she wonders, when will I be able to talk with her once more? I'm in pain once again since I'm not receiving any compassion from anybody at this point. She agrees to try to work things out, but she keeps saying again and over that if she is gay, it would not work. I feel terrible, jealous, and outraged while she sleeps soundly, seemingly without a worry in the world. But she does all of this to someone she's just known for 3 months, even though she never makes out with me, never allows me put my hands on her, and never sends me anything in return. It was the next morning, last Monday, when I notified her that we needed to talk. I insisted that this individual couldn't possibly be a member of our group, and she may have been had she not cheated and lied. She bursts into tears and starts to wail. In response to my questioning of how this person she's just met for 3 months can be so important to her that she's letting them bring our marriage crashing down, she says, "She makes me feel at ease." I then ask her to go, but I am unable to do anything. Since then, we've maintained a high level of courtesy and friendliness. I'm attempting to get the cheapest divorce possible. We just acquired a house, and she wants me to keep the house as well as all of our pets. She just does not want to have anything to do with her previous life. What is it about this that bothers me so much? I went to a location I loathed, took a lower paying job, and put my professional life on hold so she could attend the nursing school of her choosing, which she did. She continues to do this despite the fact that I am just 3.5 courses away from finishing from PhD school. My compensation is sufficient, but it is not equal to that of a registered nurse who is permitted to work overtime. I'm feeling weak and worthless, my confidence has been broken, I've been misled, and I've lost pals that I've known for 8 years as a result of this. We didn't have the perfect marriage, did we? The reason she only wanted to perform 1 or 2 positions with me, why she never initiated, why we never had relations, why she would let me go down on her, and so on were all things that I was continuously thinking about. She just looked lazy and would prioritize others before me, despite the fact that she supported my decision to go graduate school and further my education. I feel like I spent my life working to build a better future for my family, which was not what she wished after she saw what she had accomplished. Despite the fact that we've only been in our house for just more than a year, it's in serious need of repair. Due to the fact that I work full-time and pursue my dual master's degree, she is now the primary earner. Isn't it true that I didn't do a good job as a husband? Even though I'm aware of the high number of divorces, all I can think about is when will I be cheated on again? And is another relationship worth it if you're going to be harmed again? I loved this woman, and I did all I could to make our lives work together. But she shattered everything in one selfish evening. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm not sure what she was thinking when we had this conversation a week ago, but she didn't say anything to me. I've been pleading with her to go for a week now. We spoke over the phone on Saturday, and despite my best efforts not to seem like a slob, she came off as kind. My screams were drowned out by the sound of her voice, and I had to put the phone on mute many times. Mentally processing the idea that my marriage is over and that the woman I was married to is not the woman I want to marry has been a long process. Everything, however, acts as a reminder, and I now have 5 dogs, graduate school, a full-time job, and the National Guard to cope with on top of everything else. All I have to do now is make it through until February, when I will be finished with my degrees. Money is going to be tight, but I'll be okay. Simply put, I'm concerned about the future. My once promising future has been wrecked beyond recognition. Despite the fact that I am only 33 years old, I feel much older than my actual age since I made sacrifices to help her get to where she needed to go. The last week has been rough. I've taken a lot of medications, haven't eaten or slept, and have basically drowned everything out with everything I could find, even porn. Despite the fact that I've been feeling better this week, I still feel quite alone since she has this gal to run to while I don't have anybody. Those of you who have been through infidelity, how do you think it has affected your future relationships? Have you remarried since your divorce? Are you more satisfied with your life now? Is it possible to fall in love again without having to worry about infidelity? Is it still worthwhile to put time and effort into a relationship these days? Thank you, and please accept my apologies for the inconvenience caused by the book.